You know, the colt starting skeleton, the horse has to, it's nothing necessarily step by step. And a lot of people try to make it very step by step and very regimented. I'm not along those lines. I think there's a lot of gray area in how you start a colt, but a skeleton is that horse has to accept you. He has to accept you as a friend. You know, he has to be able to be caught. He has to be able to be handled, led. He has to accept you as a leader, and then he has to accept you as a guider. So he has to accept the human as a friend, a leader, and a guider. And then once he accepts you as a leader and a guider, then it's my job. The next thing on the skeleton is to get my horse to accept the saddling process. And that's things above him, that's things around him, that's things dangling on him. That's the cinches dangling around those legs and around his girth area. So he has to be able to accept the saddle. And then he has to accept the girth. And we'll work on the girthing later, of course, but he has to accept the girth. He has to be able to accept and be confident with that girth being tightened up around him. And then he has to accept the rider. And that's where we do a lot of work while he's saddled. We do a lot of work from above his back. Get him used to seeing us out of his eyes. So he has to be able to accept us as a rider. And then, once again, under saddle, he has to be able to accept us as a leader. So that's kind of this colt start skeleton. It's not any more complicated than that. But there's a whole lot of steps between there, huh?